guys, it's Adria, and I have yet another story time for you guys today. This one is going to be about an ex-boyfriend, which is so major juicy, you know what I mean? Whenever I see story times that are about boyfriends, ex-boyfriends, dates, I'm just like grabbing the popcorn, girl, you know, like it's gonna be juicy. I just kind of felt like telling this story today. A lot of you guys have requested this when I've told stories about exes before. You're like, I want to hear about your lying, cheating ex-boyfriend. So this is about the time I found out my ex-boyfriend was cheating on me with a 14-year-old. No joke. Okay. Alright, so at the time I was in high school, and a lot of people joked that like I was 18 and he was 17, and they're like he's underage, but it's like we're both in high school. He's not even a year younger than me. It wasn't that big of a difference. I was just like slightly older than him, and that was the last time I ever dated a guy younger than me. I know not always, but a lot of the times dating a guy younger than you is just a terrible idea just because of a guy's maturity level. They say that guys mature slower than girls, or like, I don't know, but he was like the poster child for that child. You could find a mature guy that is younger than you. It's a case-by-case type thing. It depends on the person, but in this case he was a lot more immature than I would have liked. Obviously, we live and we learn, okay? This was years ago, okay? I was 18, 4+ years ago, okay? I don't even know who I was back then, quite honestly. My makeup was not on fleek, just saying. We dated for like a year and a half. We met in math class when I was in 11th grade and he was in 10th grade. But we were in the same math class because I had gone to alternative school. It's a whole nother story time. You can go watch that if you'd like. My credits were off or something, and I had to take classes that were like a grade under me. So I had to take 10th grade math even though I was in 11th grade. And so that's where I met him. But what I liked about him was he had a mohawk, okay? And so I was just like, okay, like, you know, total Drama Island Duncan vibe, like, all right, you know, like a bad boy. So I could get down with it, you know what I mean? I think the first thing that I said to him was that I liked his hair. I think that was like the first thing I ever said to him. And back in the day, I was like as platinum blonde as I am now. I wore like red extensions in my hair. I wore like fishnet skull things. I was a bit more edgy back in the day. I tried anyway, and then my mom threw out that fishnet shirt multiple times and I dug it out of the trash. I'm like, don't you try to stop my groove, okay? Then we eventually started dating. He was the guy that I started dating right after I broke up with the other guy at prom, which was a whole nother story time. If you haven't seen that, I'll link that down below. This was a red flag from the start, okay? When we were about to start dating, okay, he was very invested in this other girl in our class. He was kind of on the fence about if he wanted to date me or her. Girl, nowadays it's like, I'm not gonna compete with another girl, you know what I mean? Like if Brandon was like on the fence about me or another girl, it's just like, you can have her, I don't care, like, you know, like I'm gonna move on, I don't need you. But back then, when you're in high school, you find a cute guy and you just like, you don't really care. You're kind of desperate. I just want him to love me. But then once you're an adult, you're just like, okay, that is so juvenile, so stupid. Because he was like really close friends with this girl even before I moved into the school. So like they sat together in class and they were really close. They were like friends. And then I just kind of came out of nowhere and I'm just like, oh no, I don't think he wants to date me. So that was kind of red flag number one, that he just kind of, I don't know, like he wasn't straight up about feelings or anything, you know what I mean? He kind of like played like the whole mind game thing, like, oh, I don't know what I want, when he's playing with girls' hearts. I understand not knowing what you want, but he was kind of leading us both on. Some days he would talk to me, some days he wouldn't talk to me, some days he would be like all over her, some days he wouldn't want to sit near her at all. I don't know, it was very weird. He was very like, But anyway, so then like when we started dating, I'm trying to remember, I don't remember a lot of the details, but there was just a lot of drama. There was drama with his ex-girlfriend. She wanted to like fight me or something. I don't know, just so much drama. I don't even remember all the details of everything, but he was saying he was gonna beat her up. I remember like thinking that he was gonna go to jail for some reason, thinking he was gonna go fight people and stuff. And I remember like sitting alone in my mom's car, like when it was raining outside, just like crying. Red flag, don't deal with it, okay? You're too young. It's, oh my gosh. I wish I could have just spared myself all this crap, because it was just crap. okay? So yeah, like early on, he always made me feel jealous of like his exes and like he was gonna go back to his exes. I don't know, you know how there's just certain guys that make you feel insecure around other girls? Brandon, for instance, who is my now fiance, if you're new here, I've never once felt insecure around another girl around him. I know how he feels about me, and like I don't care if there's a girl a million times better looking than me in the room. I don't feel that insecurity, you know what I mean? I know at the end of the day he loves me. So any guy that makes you feel that level of insecurity, that's a problem. It's just like, ugh. So like back when we had first started, I think this was like very early on, this may have even been before we started dating, but very early on, one morning I just looked kind of cute. I was like, oh, I feel cute, so I sent him a selfie, you know, like you do, probably on, what kind of phone did I have back then? I think I had like a Motorola Rival. If anybody remembers those phones, probably back on my Motorola Rival, like sending selfies, probably lowest quality ever. I wanted a selfie from him. It was just like, you know, like why not? And I was just like, okay, now it's your turn. And he sent me a dick pic, and I'm just like, no. Another red flag. But back then, you don't really put two and two together, like you do. Like this dude had a lot of red flags up front, okay? And typically when guys are like this, when it's super dramatic this early on, like it shouldn't be. It's normal to have like disagreements or like a little bit of drama here and there, but when a relationship is brand new, it should just be fun. And I've told this to my sisters, when a relationship is brand new, it should just be fun, you know? Like you should just be going out and like ice skating and going out to dinner and just hanging out and laughing and having fun and getting to know each other. It shouldn't be drama. When there is drama so early on, just cut it off. It's not worth it. In the long run, it's just gonna get worse and it's gonna get messy, and it got messy for me. So, okay, so here's the thing. It's like when guys want like more from, you know what I mean? Like when guys like want like, and you don't wanna like give it up to them, they're gonna cheat on you. Whatever it is, relationship-wise, if your partner isn't giving it to you, chances are they may go seek it somewhere else. And that is what happened here, because I was, I don't know, I straight up told him, like, I don't want to do that. He would ask me for, like, naked pictures. He would just want to go farther than I would want to go with stuff. I'm just like, no, like, I don't want, like, no. Anyway, so, what did he do? He went and he sought that somewhere else. So one day, and this was after like I found out he was lying to me and everything, so this is like fast forwarded a year of us being together. A lot of you guys probably know this story already, where I talked about my lying boyfriend who lied about being adopted and everything. This is the same guy, all right? This was like the end of my senior year of high school, I think. Him and his friend had to do a video project for English, which they wanted my help with, which I was like flattered. You know, anytime anyone would ever come to me and need help with like filming something or just like creative kind of things, I'm always down to help. So, and his friend was like a mutual friend, and like I still converse with this guy. I'm still friends with him on Facebook, you know, him and I still get along, whatever. We went over to his friend's house one day to film this video project. Like something was off. When someone you're dating, you can just tell when they're acting different, okay? Like maybe they're trying to overcompensate for something, you know, like they're acting extra nice, or like they're just, I don't know, there was just something about him that day that just wasn't right. So we had been filming and we were taking a little break from filming, and we were outside, and him and his friend go like wander off. I think they were helping like his friend's dad do something or something, I don't know. But he left his phone on the table outside, and I was just like, I had my suspicions. And normally when you're suspicious, you're normally right. You know, if you even think that something's going on, it could be. So I pick up the phone and I go to his text messages. It wasn't saved under a contact or anything. It was just a random number. There was this long conversation. It was back and forth, like her saying like, oh, I don't know. I'm like, what? And I'm like scrolling up. I was trying to piece together who it could be. I was just like, what the heck? And I'm scrolling up, and he's asking her for news. He's like, send me a pic of your boobs, you know, or something like that. And she's like, I don't feel comfortable doing that. And she had a boyfriend, okay? She's like, I don't think so-and-so would be comfortable with this. I'm just like, who who the heck is he texting? I put the phone down, okay, once I had scrolled through, like once I had seen enough, I was like, okay. And they were from that day. And I was thinking to myself, you know, like I'm over here helping them do a video project. I don't have to be doing this. This isn't my grade. This isn't my class. I don't have to be doing this, but like I'm here helping them. And what is he doing? He's texting some other girl trying to get some booty, you know, like what? So then the two of them come back and I kind of just gave him a look and I feel like he instantly knew. I just like looked at him like, I was just like, you got something to say? I was so pissed. Like, let me tell you, I was so pissed. Like, seriously, if someone is gonna waste my time like that, you know, back then I was more docile, I think. I was such a doormat, you know what I mean? Like, people could just take complete advantage of me and I just didn't really care, where nowadays I kind of put my foot down with stuff where I'm like, no bullshit with me, you know, like honestly. So he instantly gets down on his knees and just starts bawling his eyes out. What the heck? Like, I just did not expect that reaction. Just starts crying. And he's like, no, just like let me explain. Like, no. I started like walking down the street. I'm walking away. Like, I'll call someone to pick me up. You know what I mean? Like, I'm done with this. Y'all can finish this project yourselves. I'm done here. He like follows me down the street and is just like crying. He's like, please, Adria, just talk to me. Just please talk to me. And I was like, well, who is she? Who is she? He ended up telling me her name. He told me who she was. He's just like, I'm sorry. I think that there's a difference between actually being sorry and just being sorry that you got caught. A lot of times people like that are only sorry because they got caught. Had he come to me and been like, Adria, like I need to tell you something, I need to talk to you, look, this is what I did, I'm really sorry. That I feel like is 1,000 times better than somebody having to snoop through your stuff and finding out. Everybody makes mistakes, everybody does stuff, but had he just owned up to it, you know what I mean? Like, that would have made it so much better for me. And I would have been like, okay, you can be an honest person, but like, since he had been lying to me for so long about being adopted, and then this happening, I'm just like, dude, you are just a big liar. You are not trustworthy at all. So then later, I ended up going on Facebook and looking this girl up, okay? And like, she's cute. We're still Facebook friends to this day, do you believe it? But at the time, okay, I was 18, he was 17. Guess how old this girl was? 14. Excuse me? This girl was like 13 or 14 years old. Like, that's a little bit of an age gap there. So I was like, what the heck? Even like, why is he talking to this young girl? Like, why? And I was kind of freaked out. I was just like, what the heck? So for whatever reason, I ended up forgiving him at the time and we just moved on, and I was just like, whatever. I don't know about you, but I look out for my fellow girls, and that brings me to this part of the story, okay? This was after we had broken up. We had been broken up for like a few months. I had started talking to Brandon. Like, it had been a while since we had broken up. I think we broke up that November or December, around that, and this was like March or April of the next year. We had been broken up for a few months. I had started talking to Brandon and he was dating this new girl, right? I don't think we were Facebook friends, I don't know. So he was dating this new girl, but then one night I randomly get a text from him, okay? And he was like, oh, I really miss you. I really miss you. Like, you have no idea. And it's like midnight, okay? And I'm like at my mom's house watching Naruto, and I'm just like, what are you even doing, okay? It was just weird, okay? Just like completely out of the blue. And you know, like, I had deleted his contact, and I just recognized his number, and I was just like, oh my gosh. And so he starts asking for a picture of my boobs, like what he was doing to this other girl. I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, am I now that person that he's cheating on his current girlfriend with? Because I knew he had a girlfriend. I had seen them together on Facebook, okay? So I'm like, So what did I do, okay? I go and message that girl, and I was like, listen, I look out for my fellow girls, okay? He was asking me for some inappropriate photos. I just thought you should know. She was like, okay, like, do you have screenshots? Can you send them to me, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah. I sent her the screenshots of it, and like, you know, that's her business, okay? I know I probably shouldn't have gotten myself involved in retrospect, but if my boyfriend were cheating on me with somebody and that girl was like, hey, your boyfriend asked me for pictures, like, here's screenshots, like, I'm sorry, I would appreciate it. I'd be like, thanks, girl. Yeah, thanks, boo. You know what I mean? Just look out for your fellow girls. Like, I had nothing against her. So then he starts messaging me, right? He is so pissed. He's like, how could you do this to me, Adria? And then he like calls me and he's like, listen, I will never ask you for anything ever again, but you just have to tell her that you lied about that. I'm like, what? He wanted me to tell her that I lied about that and that like I made that up, you know, like I edited it. Like, why? are you on crack? What is the matter with you? What is honestly the matter with this guy? This guy has some serious issues, or at least he did back in the day. Like back then it was just, I had some issues too, okay? We were all just kind of young and like dealing with some stuff. And so then she's messaging me all pissed, like he's saying you made this up, he's saying that you're just jealous, he's saying that you made this up just to like break us up and whatever. I'm just like, oh my gosh. And he was like, no, Adria, like you don't understand, I really like this girl, I don't want to ruin this, and like I was just like, you know what? So I just straight up told her, I was like, listen, like I made it up, okay? I just wanted out of this whole thing, okay? I wanted out of it. Fine, you know, whatever. I don't know why. Because you know what? I always came to this guy's defense, even if it meant making myself look bad. I did. I always just came to his defense. I didn't care. I was just like, fine, I made it up, sorry, whatever. Then she sends me this whole long message about like, oh, you call yourself a Christian, blah, 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 like you're such a bitch, you know, like this whole long thing. And I'm just like, all right. I don't even think I replied to it. I just kind of like let it go. I'm just like, whatever. Not my circus, not my monkeys. I don't know. I was just trying to help you out, and then I got messed up in this spider web type thing. It was a mess. Like, it was a mess, girl. I even met up with her in person to talk about this, okay? Like, this was a whole long thing. I even met up with her in person. I showed her my phone. I showed her everything. I was just like, listen, he's lied to me in the past. He's done the same thing to me, asking girls for pictures. I was just trying to look out for you. You know, do with it what you will. Break up with him, I don't care. I just thought you should know, and so then I got tangled up in this web. I was so honestly pissed that I even got involved. I'm like, why am I involved in this? I don't know. So he was just such a toxic person, at least for me anyway. He sent me a message not too long ago, okay? Like, I was having such a good day. Brandon had brought me flowers, and it was just like, I don't know, such a good day. Like, oh, I'm so in love. And then what happens when you're finally happy and like you've moved on? He messages you, yeah. And he's just like, oh, how have you been? And I'm just like, block. You know, there's people that are just toxic, that are just not meant to be in your life. You know, like, I wish him all the best. I hope he's well, honestly, like, because I really did care about him. I really did. I don't hold a grudge. You know, I'm sure that he's better of a person now, at least I would hope, you know, like, God bless. That just doesn't mean that people are meant to be in your life. You know, we just weren't meant for each other. It just wasn't right. So it is what it is, I guess. But that's really it. Just a whole lot of drama. Like, he was just drama. Like, it felt like I was dating a girl. Like, he was just so dramatic. We live, we learn, like Alanis Morissette says, and it's just, you know, it is what it is. I don't care. So that is about my lying, cheating boyfriend. Who knows what else I didn't even find out about, you know what I mean? Lied about being adopted. Even after we broke up, like, he lied and he said that he had a Harley Davidson. It's like, dude, like, you don't even drive. Honestly, like, I know you don't have a Harley. Like, what are you, why? Like, why are you trying to? So if you guys enjoyed this story time, be sure to give it a thumbs up and let me know down in the comments below if anything like this has ever happened to you, dating wise or like friend wise, or anything where people just like lied to you or cheated on you or just nothing sat right. Did anything like that ever happen? Let me know. So yeah, I will see you guys again real soon. Until then, panda hugs. I love you guys. Bye! Remember, ladies, don't let him cheat. I dug my key into the side of his non-existent four-wheel drive.